Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're continuing our series, Implementing Scrum Unscripted by Michael Visidos.
That's right, and we're tackling a really specific, very common question someone posed.
Yeah, basically, how can Scrum help save my project that is like 3 months behind and way over budget?
Oof. Yeah, that's a tough one. And this listener is advising an executive, we're calling him Stan Thiemann for our purposes.
Right, Stan. And his project isn't just behind and over budget, the scope is apparently all over the place too.
Exactly. It sounds chaotic, but honestly, it's a situation a lot of companies find themselves in. It happens.
It really does. So for you listening, maybe you're in a similar boat or advising your own Stan. Here's what we want you to get from this deep dive.
Just one actionable result, that's the promise.
Yep. By the end, you'll get how to move past just, surface level changes and actually make a real difference, the kind that builds genuine transparency and trust.
Okay, so let's get into it. The sources we looked at are pretty clear. Really doing Scrum isn't about waving a magic wand or just changing job titles.
No quick fixes here.
None. It really comes down to two things. You have to do the work, and you need real conversations, context.
So let's talk about Stan's situation. 3 months behind, budget blown, scope creep. It's super tempting to just, find a quick fix.
Oh, absolutely. And that's often where this idea of lipstick on a pig comes in, something our sources mention quite a bit.
Explain that a bit. Lipstick on a pig.
It's basically trying to make things look better without fixing the underlying issues. So you take your old ways of working, slap some Scrum terms on them, and call it Agile.
Like renaming the same old daily status meeting a daily Scrum, but nothing actually changes about the meeting itself.
Exactly that. Or having a sprint review where you just show some PowerPoint slides instead of, actual working software that people can give feedback on.
Okay, I see. Or maybe using the sprint retrospective to kind of beat up on the team for what went wrong.
Yeah, instead of it being a safe space for the team to figure out how to improve themselves, that's definitely putting lipstick on the pig.
And this ties into that whole agile snake oil idea, doesn't it? People selling Scrum like it's easy, like it'll magically fix everything without any real effort from anyone.
It does. But the truth, and the sources are firm on this, is that Scrum exists only in its entirety. You can't just pick the bits you like.
If you do that, you end up with weird hybrids, right? Like Scrum butt or mini waterfalls.
Precisely. And often communication actually gets worse because you've broken the framework. You create these new kinds of bottlenecks.
Okay, so how does Stan or anyone in his position avoid this? How do they make real change happen?
Well, it starts with leadership. It's a mindset shift, moving away from command and control, from just trying to manage Scrum activities.
Towards what?
Towards leading Scrum. Leaders need to set up the environment, the system, so that the teams can actually focus, deliver. That's the real work for leaders like Stan.
And you mentioned conversations, context. That sounds like the heart of it.
It really is. Think about Stan's scope problem, that runaway scope. That's where something like product backlog refinement becomes absolutely critical.
Okay, tell me more about that, refinement.
It's sometimes called the greatest non-event event in Scrum. It's basically the ongoing work of getting the product backlog items ready for a sprint.
And why is that so crucial before sprint planning?
Because that's where the understanding happens.
Right.
The whole team needs to get on the same page about what needs to be built, why it's valuable, identify dependencies, get that shared context.
So it stops people from just starting work on fuzzy requirements.
Exactly. And it helps fight the HiPPO problem.
The highest paid person's opinion.
Yeah. It ensures decisions are based on shared understanding and the product goal, not just what the most senior person in the room thinks should happen right now. For Stan, that directly tackles the scope creep eating his budget.
That makes a lot of sense. So clear requirements, shared understanding. What about building trust, especially when the project's already stressed, like Stan's?
Yeah, trust is huge. And the sprint retrospective is key here. It's supposed to be just for the Scrum team. No stakeholders allowed.
Okay.
And the whole point is for them to look back honestly at the last sprint, what worked, what didn't, and agree on one specific improvement to try next sprint.
But that only works if people feel safe enough to actually speak up, right?
Absolutely. You need what they call psychological safety. People have to trust that they can be honest, admit mistakes, suggest things without getting blamed or punished. That takes emotional maturity from everyone involved.
Without that trust, the whole thing falls apart.
Very much. It links back to the core of Scrum.
Yeah.
Empiricism. Transparency, inspection, adaptation.
Right. If there's no trust, you don't get transparency.
And if you don't have transparency, your inspection is flawed, and your adaptations won't actually help. It all hinges on trust.
So keep it simple, build trust, have the right conversations.
Exactly. Keep it simple. Think KISS Scrum. What do we need to do? Okay, let's make a list. Now pick one thing from the top.
Just one.
Just one. Work on that one thing until it's actually done, properly done. Then deliver it. Then reflect. How did that go? How can we do it better next time? Repeat.
And crucially, limit, WIP. Limit work in process.
Yes. Stop starting, start finishing. For Stan's team, that means they stop juggling 50 things poorly and start actually completing valuable increments of work. That directly impacts the budget and the schedule.
Okay, so let's bring it back to that one actionable result for our listener.
Right. If you're facing a situation like Stan's, the actionable takeaway is this. Don't just put lipstick on the pig.
Instead, commit to real change. Start by making space for those crucial, transparent conversations. Really do product backlog refinement before you plan the sprint to get that scope under control.
And actively build trust. Foster that psychological safety, especially in your retrospectives. That's how you truly do the work.
And how you genuinely focus, deliver.
We really hope this deep dive gave you something concrete to work with. If you found it useful, please like it, subscribe to the channel.
And maybe share that one actionable item you're taking away in the comments. We'd love to see it, maybe act as your accountability partner.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you for listening to this deep dive of Implementing Scrum Unscripted. And hey, if you have a detailed situation you're wrestling with, send it our way. We might untangle it in a future deep dive.
Focus, deliver,